Welcome and come in to this happy place where there is always joy and never any sadness, and I never report anything but good news. The good news that joy is just like I just won the big lottery as I received that much joy. Can you imagine what would happen if I actually won the big lottery? I would instantly go through the roof and land on the street running. As joyful as I already am to begin with, can you imagine what would happen if I actually won the lottery? And how would you act? I'd just like to know, how would you act if you won the big lottery? Would you remain sad and in a bad mood and depressed? Or would you just remain, down in the dumps or feeling not quite right? Or wouldn't you, at least for a minute or two, begin to jump a little bit? Begin to shout. If it was the great big lottery with millions of dollars and you were needing millions of dollars for something real that you wanted to get, you would get a little bit excited, I'm sure. And yet, a lot of times when people get this real joy of the Lord, they begin to jump and shout a little bit. And then, if it's on a video, you'll see comments there that say this is not, there are all kinds of critical comments. And yet you wonder what that same person that is making that comment would do if they received the big lottery, if they just found out they won the big lottery. Wouldn't they jump and shout a little bit? And if you stop and think about that, you'll realize that what the people have received that you see jumping and shouting on videos where people are really on fire for God, that is really worth far more. What they have got is worth far more than the biggest lottery that there ever was. And we need to see joy as being like that. We need to realize that if you look at somebody else that is dancing and shouting and with joy, and you don't think that's real, then all that means is that you just never have experienced real joy. And you should take that as an indication that you need to start seeking for more joy. Because we know that we get excited about the things that we think are the best things, and the things that would tend to be the best for us, like winning the big lottery. The things that we think are important, we do get excited about. But joy is the most important thing. Getting that real joy of life, that real joy of living, is the most important thing you can do for yourself and your health. You win the big lottery and then it'll soon be gone. You'll spend the money, the money will be gone, and it won't buy your health. If you've got a incurable or terminal disease and you win the big lottery, that's not going to cure that disease, and that's not going to cause that terminal disease to automatically be ended just because you won all that money. That money is not going to buy you that. The money's not going to buy you anything other than some temporary excitement. But when you really get this real joy like what I'm talking about, then you can always be in the feeling of wanting to shout and jump at all times. So it is a much better joy to receive. It is a much better, more solid thing for you to receive. And if you've got the choice between one or the other, you should always choose this joy.